Good afternoon, friends and neighbors. Red Rock Firewood coming at you with a real short check-in. Just something I experienced today that I don't know, maybe you've experienced before. If you haven't, maybe you will. Probably will again. Yesterday at Thanksgiving dinner with my family, I got a text from an individual that lives in the town closest to me and asking about firewood. So ordinarily I don't text during family events, but we were pretty well done eating and just kind of watching football. Chiefs and the Cowboys. Cowboys won. So kind of got done eating, started texting back and forth with a guy. Tried to be real clear in my pricing. I asked him, is this going to be for delivery or pickup? He said he wanted it delivered. Said he wanted a full cord. I made sure to explain what a full cord was, which I don't think he ever really got. And then I asked him very specifically, I said, am I going to be stacking it or just dumping it off? And he said that he wanted to stack it inside of his house. And he asked, would that be okay? Which I took to mean, did I mind not stacking it for him? Which I didn't mind at all. I was happy to not stack the firewood for him. I preferred not to stack the firewood for him. I'd prefer if he would just stack it himself without me there. So I showed up this morning, texted him about 11. I got the wood loaded. I can stack half of a cord in the back of my truck. So I was going to do that twice. My daughter came out and helped me. She stacked it. I tossed it up in the truck. She stacked it. We have a pretty good system. And so I messaged the dude and say, hey, I got your wood stacked in my truck, ready to come whenever. He says, that'd be great. You can come about 11:30. I'll be ready for you. I pull up to his place at 11:30 and nobody's around. So I call him. I had his cell phone number, or had a phone number for him. And I presume it was a cell phone because we had been texting. And a guy rides up on a bicycle. And the other thing that was a little weird, he had like saplings, young trees planted in his yard in town, really, really close together. Like once these trees get a couple years on them, you're not gonna be able to walk around his yard for trees. He's gonna have to mow it with a weed eater. But at any rate, to each their own. So long story, a little bit shorter, his vision was for me to park on the street and we were going together to carry the wood from the back of my truck up the sidewalk to his house, up the stairs to his front door, in his front door, up about 6 more steps, kind of up 3 and then turn and up 2 or 3 more, and then across his dining room where we were going to stack it in the corner of his dining room. And I tried to meet him halfway. I was like, well, what about, can we back up to this door? Hop up over the curb and back across the grass a few feet. There was a nice concrete landing there. I said, can we back? No, he didn't want me to back up through his grass. I don't think he wanted his grass messed up, which it wouldn't have. It's dry and the ground's half frozen. It hasn't rained for weeks. So at any rate, I said, I don't think this is going to work. And he said, then you're too particular about your firewood. I don't want it. And I said, okay. And I left. It was a little disappointing because I went through the extra work of stacking the wood in my truck and all that. It turned out okay. I have another customer that's relatively close that burns wood for heat in his garage. And I know how long it's been since he's gotten a load, and we're getting some colder weather and some snow. And so I said, hey, I texted him, said, could you use a load of wood today? I'll give you a discount. So I sold him a half of a cord for what I would ordinarily sell him a face cord. And he was happy with that. I was happy with it. Didn't want to put it back in the bin and handle it again. So at any rate, yeah, I don't know. I guess I could have been a little bit more clear about, you don't want to be a jerk and be like, no, I am not. Like I'd have done all that process for him if I'd have known that's what, like, I wasn't against stacking the wood for him or carrying it up there or whatever. Like we could have done all that, but it would have been quite a bit more money to do it. I just wish he would have kind of been upfront about it. Like he said, I want to stack it in my house. And I'm like, well, dude, I don't care. You can do whatever you want as long as I'm just backing it up and dumping it off. That's how I priced it. And I don't think that's what he was looking for. So I hope he finds somebody, maybe one of those guys that sells, you know, a whole pickup truck load of wood for like $50 with dirt and sawdust and bark and small boulders and crap in it that I see everywhere on Facebook will show up and carry some of that stuff into his house for him. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But at any rate, hope you're having a great day. These are the lessons we've learned, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.